At an October 19th news conference, Mayor Daley announced steps the city will take to help balance the budget by cutting an additional $114 million. Here are highlights from that news conference on Chicago Works.
On Wednesday, I will present our 2010 balanced budget to the City of Chicago. Last week, I announced that our budget proposal will not include any increase in property taxes. It will also not include any new increases in taxes, fines, or fees, or any new tax, fine, or fee. In these difficult economic times, people are struggling enough to get by, and I don't want to add to any of their burdens. Taxpayers expect us to better manage government first, and that's what we're doing in the budget I will propose again. Today, I want to announce a few of the steps we would be taking to better manage government to help balance next year's budget. Taken together, these steps will save another $114 million. This is in addition to the $59 million we've already cut this year and $160 million we cut last year. It's because we're taking these steps and others that we'll be able to maintain, not cut basic services next year. At the very time that other cities are raising taxes and cutting basic services, thankfully, we are not. First, to help deliver on my commitment for government to do more with less, we'll eliminate another 220 vacant positions in the corporate budget for savings of about $18 million. The total number of employees in the 2010 local fund budget is now over 33,000, down 467 from last year, about 6,200 from 2001 that are down. Despite this decrease in total employees count, the number of sworn police personnel has increased during the same period. Next, I order a reduction of $20 million or more than 5% for non-personal costs and contractual expenses, travel, materials, supplies, and equipment. This cut includes $8.7 in professional services, a 10% saving from 2009. Also lowers cost for rental equipment, property rent, fuel, and electricity. As a result, the total non-personnel spending in next year's budget returns to pre-2009 levels. We will continue to generate $70 million in savings next year through our union agreements, extension of unpaid holidays, and furloughs for non-union employees, which are really important. The non-union employees will also forego a cost of living increase to save another $6 million, and will take a total of 24 unpaid days next year, and that's a lot of time. I want to remind everyone that taking these unpaid days off starts with me. I will never ask anyone to do something I wasn't willing to do first. It's also important to remember that because we took these steps, that we'll be able to save thousands of employees from being laid off or protect essential services. At the same time, we will continue to advance efforts to reshape government so we can better provide the services that people need. These steps will better manage government, even though they may not realize significant savings. To ensure that a percentage of city contracts are fulfilled by certified minority, women-owned firms, the city's M and MBA WBE certification and compliance duties will move to the Office of Compliance for the Department of Procurement Services. It is a move that I announced earlier this year. As you know, we are strongly committed to encouraging the development and growth of women and minority-owned businesses, and to make it easier for them to participate in city business. The Office of Compliance will analyze, track, monitor processes, and make them much more efficient and effective. They will work to systematically prevent the possibility of misconduct by reorganizing a department to utilize specifically trained auditors to review all M and WBE certification materials. For more efficient service delivery, we'll break up the Department of Streets and Sanitation Bureau of Electricity and divide its responsibilities among several departments. The Bureau of Street and Traffic Repair will move to the Department of Transportation. Electrical maintenance in city facilities will move to the Department of General Services. And all the electrical work at O'Hare and Midway Airport will be relocated to the Department of Aviation, which is much more manageable and efficient. All these are. This move will allow Streets and Sanitation to focus on the core service they deliver, including keeping the city clean, removing snow. To better align departments with their core functions, we'll make several other moves. We'll move red light camera responsibility to the Department of Transportation. Job training efforts that focus on individuals will move from the Department of Community Development to the Department of Family and Supportive Services. Water management billing function will move to the Department of Revenue to consolidate collection activities in one department. We're trying to do all the departments in one collection agency with the Department of Revenue. All these cuts and management moves build on many steps we have already taken this year to get ahead of the nation's really sluggish economy. Chicagoans expect us to find ways to better manage government, keep spending under control. And that's why we cut over $2.5 billion in spending since I've been mayor. And that's why we'll be able to limit City of Chicago property tax increases to the average of a little more than 1.3% a year since I've been mayor. That's well below the rate of inflation. I will present a balanced budget Wednesday, something that the federal government has the luxury of not ever having to do. We're really fortunate. But the bottom line remains that although we are very cautiously hopeful that some revenues will begin to recover, we cannot expect revenues to rebound to 2007 levels for a few years. In the meantime, we must remain creative and must deliver on our commitment to better management, government, and to do more with less. During these very difficult and challenging times, we need to provide the services our people need, but in a way that taxpayers, yes, can afford. Thank you.